Welcome to our video series on advanced features in Windows XP. In this video, we'll look at cutting and pasting. In this video, I'm going to expand on the previous video. And in the previous video, of course, I talked through copying of files and folders, which is a very important feature. Here I'm going to talk through a development of that, which instead of copying and pasting, you cut and paste. The concept is very similar, and actually, let's go through it. I just have a demo folder here, and let's go into the folder. So, okay, let me resize the window a little so this can be clear, so the example can be clear. So, for example, if I were to select those, copy those, and paste them to the desktop, duplicates of all these would appear on the desktop, but the originals of all these would not be affected. Whereas with a cut and paste, edit, cut, and again you can do cut in multiple ways. You can choose right-click and cut, or the keyboard combination, which for cut is Control plus X, so you can use the keyboard combination of holding down Control plus X while the files are selected, and that's the same as choosing cut from the menus, and it tells you these keyboard combinations here on the right. Okay, so I've cut those files and nothing's happened yet actually. You see that they've become slightly dimmed, and that means you're about to cut them. Actually, if I press the Escape key on the keyboard, it cancels the cut, and they become undimmed. So now nothing happens. Let me do that again. Select, Edit, Cut, click on the desktop. Right-click on the desktop, and paste. What it does effectively is that it copied the original files and folders you selected, it pastes them to the area you choose, and then it deletes the original. It cuts the original. So really, effectively, what you're doing is moving what you selected. You're moving the files and folders you selected from one location to another. Then I can very easily, if I choose, select them again. And Control X to cut, then click in the window here, Control V to paste, and I cut and paste them back. Let's try again. Select them again, and this time I'm going to edit, cut, and you see they've become dimmed. And then if I press Escape to cancel the cut, and now if I click here on the desktop and Control V, it doesn't work because I canceled the cut by pressing Escape, because you see that these are no longer dimmed. Okay, let's maximize this window now. And what you can do is you can cut and paste files to wherever you wish. For example, select these again, edit, cut, and let's create a new folder and call it Subfolder. Then let's double-click to go into that folder, and let's create another subfolder, New, Subfolder 2, okay, and let's change the view to the icons view. So now, you see here's the path to the desktop, and then on the desktop there's a new folder. This is a new folder, and that's where the files and folders are that we cut. And then I've added two subfolders, a subfolder, and Subfolder 2. So in a completely separate folder to the original files and folders that I cut, now if I edit, paste, and there we go. Let's change to icons view again. And there they are. So I've cut and pasted them here. So if I go up a folder, and then go up a folder again, and we're back to the original, you see. This is a new folder. That's where we are. And I can demonstrate this actually by closing this, and we go back to the desktop. There's the folder on the desktop, so double-click, and you see it's completely empty now, apart from the subfolder I just created, because everything else I cut and pasted. I cut and pasted it from here to not this subfolder, but into this subfolder, so 2 subfolders deep, and there they are. So you can cut and paste files anywhere on your computer, to different drives, to an external hard drive or a memory stick, for example. But remember, you're moving them. You're getting rid of the originals, so you're effectively moving them to a new location. So do keep that in mind. Then, as a final point, it's worth mentioning that you don't always have to paste when you copy. Again, let's select these 3 files, and right-click and cut, and they become dimmed. Let's resize the window somewhat so the example becomes more apparent. So let's say I've changed my mind. I don't want to paste them anymore. I don't have to do anything. Let's say in 10 minutes' time, I decide to right-click here and choose Cut. So I cut that, and now you see these are no longer dimmed, but are back to normal. And this folder is now dimmed because you can only cut one thing at a time. Then if I click here and put the focus on the desktop, and right-click and paste, you see I've cut and pasted that folder, which was the last thing I cut. And these 3 are unaffected. So cutting and pasting is very useful and powerful as well, but do keep in mind you're removing the originals whenever you do that. So really, you're effectively moving them from one location on your computer to another.